his administrative skills.
So you have trouble getting back. Yeah.
All right?
We on.
Talking about his administrative skills that I didn't have. His administrative skills were so good that he had alienated the black students.
But nobody knows what you're talking about.
Yeah, go back to the beginning, to what you were saying.
But you don't know what he's talking about. There's no context for this. Go back to when you were trying to get out of Jamaica and why he's doing this and who you're talking about. Bernie Bell. Don't nobody know. He's just disjointed talk.
So during this time...
We're talking about Bernie Bell.
No, but that's not, he didn't have the camera on. I'm watching this. All right, from now on, I'm directing this, all right? Go ahead.
Where do I start? Okay.
Start from where
you're caught in Jamaica.
Yeah, you're caught in Jamaica, and you're getting the check from the university,
the chair.
and to set the background for why Bernie felt he needed to take over. And you were telling about all the people you had recruited, how the department was expanding. That's all very important information. So start from when you in Jamaica, and you're being detained. You can't get back, and you're getting the check from the university.
So what the university finally did was they sent a delegation to Washington, including Bill Bromley, who was an associate provost, the provost whose name was Glockstern, and Dean Shapiro, who was dean of the College of Arts. This is a high-pressured delegation they sent. They go to the Congression, they went to the Massachusetts Congressional delegation. They called the State Department. State Department said there's nothing they can do. They go down to the State Department, the Caribbean area. They try to talk to them. They can't do anything about it because the man on the ground has the discretion to issue these visas. So they're going back home to Massachusetts distressed. What the fuck you waving your hands about?
I'm trying to get your attention so that you could be facing me in the relationship to your discussion.
I could never have known
you have
that.
known that.
Okay.
I've known that. I did get your attention. Just that you were. Go ahead, sir.
So then even to come back to Amherst, having failed. And Bromley, who used to be in D.C. and knew the Beltway bureaucracy and shit, suddenly sat up in the back of the car and said, hey, isn't Scranton, who was the governor of Pennsylvania, isn't he in charge of a committee against campus unrest? Because all the campuses had shut down behind the Tet-Up offensive and shit. I said, yeah. We never talked. Turn around the car. And they went back and they went to Scranton's office. And Bromley said to him, Governor Scranton, you know, the administration, the right hand don't know what the left hand is doing. Here you're sitting here in this organization with this mission of preventing student unrest across the country. And over there in the Caribbean desk of the State Department, they acted in such a way that we can cause our students to burn down the university when we get back. And the man fell up and said, what? He said, the chairman of our Black Studies Department, Professor Thelwell, is in Jamaica. They refused to give him a visa to come back. And if that doesn't happen, we can't be responsible for the peace on the campus. Which was a kind of exaggeration.
Yeah, it might have been. She had burned down.
Nothing. When I got Scranton's attention, Scranton said, okay, give me the phone. And he picks up the phone and he calls over to the State Department. And he's got a presidential appointment now to stop campus unrest. And he cusses them out. So the next thing I know, I'm sitting down in Jamaica and the phone rings. And it's Keishan, the same guy who told me to travel is a privilege. And it's not a privilege, it's not the duty, it's a privilege.
It's not the right, it's a privilege.
All right. And I get him on the phone. I say, Mr. Keishan. Oh no, he was on the phone and he said to me, Mr. Thelwell, he called me. So Mr. Thelwell, there's been a change in plans here. If you come down to the embassy and not forget your passport this time, I will be happy to issue the visa. I said, oh, Mr. Keishan, please don't joke with me in such a cruel way. You told me that to travel to the United States was not a right, it's a privilege, which you could give me or not as you chose. And now you called me up. This is very cruel of you. He says, shut up, bring your passport. We sign it, and he hangs up the phone. And when I got down there, I said, where is Mr. Keishan? When I get to there, I said, Mr. Keishan isn't here, he isn't available. but his secretary will issue your visa. So this woman came and issued the visa, never set eyes on Keisha again, and I came back. And that's why I came back with a certain loyalty. No, in the time I was gone, Bernie Bell was bulldozing students. And one of the appointments I wanted to make was for the director of the campus, for the culture center. And that's why Bill Hassan came to Jamaica. So he could come back and say, yes, I had agreed to it. But Bernie was acting the fool. And so some of these, and it was obvious that that street group around Hassan was to threaten them and told them, you know, if you all keep messing around, something will happen to you. So here is the first meeting of the department for the semester that I was supposed to conduct, but I'm not. So Bernie is brought out to be the chairman. And there's a host of these new people sitting in the room. I got the story from Janetta and Esther. Bernie walks in and says, well, and whatever he says to welcome the people, he gets to a point where he says, listen, there's been political contention on this campus and lives have been threatened. You know, welcome a new group of new faculty talking about lives have been threatened. Femi Richards, who came from Sierra Leone and whose mother was in politics. His mother was the mayor of Freetown or whatever it was.
He was such a gentleman.
Yeah. Femi Richards leapt up and said, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, I came here to teach. I didn't come here to fight. Bernie's administrators came. Femi hit the door. And Esther and Janetta had to run out there and said, Femi, Bernie is not the smartest guy in the world, you know. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, I came here to teach. I didn't come here to fight. Lives have been threatened. So, I mean, that's that asshole Bernie. Okay?
And so what was the question that was requested of my brother here?
But hold on, man. It's something I must say. There's another side to this, another side story here.
Hold on.
When Thelwell was in Jamaica.
Hold on. I started from when Thelwell, so you know
when he was
this.
in I was there, of course I was here. Listen,
okay.
When Thelwell was in Jamaica, there was great drama back here. Everybody's waiting. What's going to happen? When is Chairman Mike coming? When he shows up, he's got broken-hearted ladies all over the place, you know, waiting for him to return. When he returns with this Jamaican woman who announces this is wife. You know what I'm saying? Listen, and I mean, there was all kinds of, there was all kinds of,
you missed an important detail.
Okay, right.
There was Terry Williams, who's a very beautiful Jamaican.
Beautiful Jamaican,
and her little sister, Vita,
the one I rudeness.
You never rudeness.
Oh, I tried to rudeness.
You tried to.
Okay.
Don't tell me life on okay? Because Vita was in love with somebody and she wouldn't do. She was to do something like that would betray.
Okay, I tried to rudeness, sir.
Okay, but when I came out, there were these two beautiful Jamaican women, and I announced them as my wives. You forget that, Benjamin.
There was more than one woman.
Yeah, well, okay, yeah, right. Yeah, I did forget that. But the thing is, there was a whole bunch of heartbroken women here. You know,
believe me. I mean, faculty wives believe it. I said, did you see Michael Thelwell's two wives?
This was not a reality. You were just making an announcement.
No, he wasn't that bad.
In Jamaica, we don't have polygamy. What are you asking me?
No, but you have a form of polygamy. I mean, for you to come and announce it as a joke.
These are my wives. I'm married. And I say, you're really married?
Mark has a very strange sense of humor. I give you an example. The first time he invited us up here, the time that I went through that ordeal, I had to dust Bernie Bell off. When he stepped to me, Mike had a party where every woman he invited was in love with him. So here's me, Sharif, Ivanhoe. I mean, we all killers, you know, we ladies men, but ain't nobody interested in us. Everybody, we trying to talk, and all the women keep trying to get him off somewhere. So what the hell? We know. I mean, he look all right, but I mean, he ain't that cool. You understand what I'm saying? Me and Sharif and Ivanhoe, we stand around all the way. And it took, you know, all the night before we figure out, well, they all his women. You know, he invited all women that had asked for him, and nobody knew but him. He's the only one that knew what was going on. He had a very strange sense of humor.
So is this true, sir?
Yeah, it's true.
You're reporting something that's true.
In general terms.
I mean, listen, all night every woman was trying to get to him. You know what I mean? And I'm thinking, hey, you know what I'm saying? My nickname is Sweets. You understand what I'm saying? You know, I'm feeling, you know, I know I'm cool. I've been all over the country, women, and ain't nobody noticing me. They all, and then Sharif, this handsome Arab, you know what I mean, who's been all over the world.